What's up, guys? So, the big question is, can you run a blow-off valve on a stock Subaru turbo motor? And the simple answer is yes. Okay, guys, so the big question is, can you run your blow-off valve? Everyone wants that sound on your stock Subaru. That's turbo, obviously. And the answer is yes. So I have a 2006 Subaru Outback XT. It's got the 2.5 motor. Everything is stock. Doesn't have a cold air intake, anything like that. The only thing that my car has that yours doesn't, and I honestly don't think it would make really any difference, is that I have a catback 3-inch exhaust system. So from the catback, it's just a 3-inch pipe. It goes all the way back to a single muffler. I don't have the dual. I deleted it. So the installation on it is super simple. It took me probably like 10 minutes. The one that I bought, I got off Amazon, or not off Amazon, I got it off eBay, and I think I paid like $57 or so, somewhere around there for it. It's a Turbo Smart knockoff. I think it's literally like a regular Turbo Smart blow-off valve. And it actually came with a Turbo Smart sticker. And the thing that I noticed with it is there's actually 2 ways you could put it on. So I'll just show you guys. Okay, so there's the blow-off valve that I bought. So this is the Turbo Smart knockoff. There's actually 2 ways to mount it. And what I mean by that is this is fully adjustable. So you could turn it whatever way you want. There's 4 adjustment screws on the bottom. And then you can turn this and have it face whatever way you want. This part, the trumpet, is also interchangeable with the inlet side to the outlet side to the intake. So let's see if you guys can see in there. Put you in this way. Okay. So from inside, you see how it has this lip on the top up there? So on the inlet side or outlet side that goes into the motor, that lip side up top is actually on the bottom, and then there's more space here on the top. So what that does is it allows air to actually come out of the trumpet first by being on the top, and then go into the outlet side after a good majority of it has been vented. You could, if you wanted to, switch that around. And when I actually first installed it, I did have it switched around, and the thing I noticed was it made a lot less sound, and it didn't sound as cool. Like not a lot of air got through, so it wasn't as loud. But you can turn this, and I have it right now. I have it turned all the way up. I did have it turned out a few clicks, probably like 8 clicks, or 8 full rotations. When I bought it, I turned it out like 8 rotations because one of the things I noticed was my car would stall out, and it's not doing it anymore. It only did it once this was I guess turned the 8 clicks out. Like, it hasn't done it since. So I don't know if it was actually related to it. I'm guessing that maybe it was related, but I haven't had any issues since. It runs perfectly fine, starts up good. In those times that it did stall out, it literally stalled out 2 times. So it could have been completely unrelated. It could have been something else. But what I did was I figured it was probably maybe the spring tension on the inside wasn't holding enough, so it was like leaking some of the air out and causing it to run too rich, and then it would just stall. but I wasn't 100% sure. That's why I turned the clicks up. I turned it all the way as tight as it can. Now, if I keep having the problem... Okay, so that was the cops that came down here. They're probably wondering what I was doing. But anyway. So what I was saying was, I'll probably go online and I'll buy 3 springs, and I'll get like a 10-pound spring, like a 1-pound spring, and then I think they have like 15-pound springs, and they're diverter valve or blow-off valve springs. So you put those in, and it should be able to handle... That's really annoying. It should be able to handle the boost that you're running, and it'll allow it to like let the air out at the specific time. What I've noticed in the past with my other blow-off valve on my WRX is that at first, when I first put it in there, it almost seemed like it let off a little early. So what I did was I popped the cover off, and I pulled out the spring a little bit. The spring that's in this blow-off valve is literally like this long. So I don't think that will actually work for it. I think buying the smaller springs and then sticking them in there will give me more tunability, and it'll be a smaller spring, so that the tunability of it will actually be effective, versus I think the spring that's in there, there's literally no tunability. I honestly don't think there's any tunability in the spring. So the bottom line is, if I were to recommend getting a blow-off valve or not, I would say you should get one. They're really cool. I mean, I don't think the risk is very high for the sound. Like, I honestly don't think your motor is just going to explode because you're running a blow-off valve. All it's going to do, theoretically, is make your motor run rich for the split second that it like burns the air or pushes the air out. It's going to still recirculate some if you buy this one, but it's just going to make it run rich. I did watch a video of a guy who has I think a STI, and I think it was tuned, and when he stuck his blow-off valve on his car, it literally would not idle correct. So if you put a blow-off valve on a car and it's not idling correct, it's not because it can't have the blow-off valve on it. Your car should not leak air out of the blow-off valve when the car's on startup, when it's just idling. And he used that as an example as to why you can't run a blow-off valve on your Subaru. You can. You just have to make sure the spring compression's right. And then if it's a tuned Subaru, and it's not tuned for the blow-off valve, and it's not the stock tune, and you're running like 18, 20 pounds of pressure, if not more, yeah, do not run a blow-off valve, because your car is gonna probably run like shit. But with my car, it's just stock. It's only running at 11 pounds of boost. I don't see why I can't run one. I don't see why you guys can't run one either. But I'll let you guys listen to it. That's the blow-off valve. Car is running, as you can hear. It's idling perfectly fine. This is how my car normally idles. This is how your car should normally idle. There should be no other problems. Like, it shouldn't be hesitating or anything. So I'm gonna let you guys listen to the blow-off valve. I'm gonna give it a couple of reps. You guys fell over. So that was a couple of revs. It sounds good. It sounds really awesome going down the road. I definitely think you guys should do this. It is the coolest sound. Definitely makes people turn their heads. And especially if you're in a better car than this wagon. Like, this is like a granny wagon, and it still turns heads. Okay, so I will let you guys, and there's no check engine lights. I'll let you guys hear it. We'll take off. We'll drive a little bit. And we'll see. So the boost gauge, like the vacuum, the boost, everything is normal how it normally is. Still idles normal.